Greetings, and welcome to the Universe, the place in the cosmos that does not revolve around you. So here we have not the universe of obviously, the universe, but rather our own solar system, with all the various planets. And for this alternate Thursday, I wanted to give show off the Universe Sandbox version 2, because the first version was never released on Steam, so this is the only version I have. And this is basically a gravity simulator, which is evidently more easily done with very big things rather than with very small things. Otherwise this would be a quantum simulator, I believe, which I don't think this actually exists on the public market. Anyway, but I find this a very amusing tool. And this isn't a completely accurate simulation. The gravity offshore does work fine, but none of the planets have moons, which is a bit of a shame. Also, it's not a very complete simulation, because if we just zoom in, here we have the Earth spinning madly. The simulation is now running on the hours. That's basically each tick is 1 hour. 1 real second is approximately 2 days. So time moves really fast. I could set it to realistic, real time, and then nothing seems to be moving. But it is actually moving. The simulation is still running. But let's get back to 1 hour. But this is of course not a complete simulation, because there's an object missing, so let's add that. Yeah, there should be a teapot somewhere around here. There. Now it's complete. And as we zoom in all the way, because that's a long distance, here we have a little China teapot circling in an orbit between Earth and Mars, just as we all know there is. And this simulator allows you to do some really neat stuff. Mostly just gravity simulations, but I can show you some more stuff, like for instance our local galaxies. Now this is paused because, well, galaxies move so slow to the human eye that it would take years for anything to actually be seen. Here we have our own galaxy with the sun highlighted. This is the sun without the system around it, because I think that would pretty much crash the simulator. Because I showed this simulator to a friend of mine the other day, and we managed to crash it by accidentally adding a universe to the solar system simulation, I believe, which was quite fun, but I couldn't get it loading up again. Bit annoying. Anyway, this is our Milky Way, our little slice of space. And the Milky Way is slowly moving towards, where is it? I know it's here. Somewhere close. Ah, there it is. Andromeda. Although you can't see it right now. I'm not gonna turn it on because that would take too long. But how about somewhere closer to home? Like the Earth and the Moon. Now the simulator is running a bit behind. Not speeding it up will not actually do anything really impressive, but it is kinda serene and beautiful. By the way, the simulator doesn't actually come with music, so I will have added music in later, I think. It was a bit difficult to actually find any space-themed music that was under the Creative Commons stuff. So, thank you YouTube and Incompetech for giving me a little bit of music to add to this otherwise silent system. But of course, you don't come here to just look at stuff, you come here to test stuff. Like for instance, what would it feel like to actually shoot something at the Earth? Like that. So let's see if we can hit something. No, I actually don't. Well, this isn't an accurate simulation, of course. Because I can shoot stuff at the Earth as much as I like and it will not change the bloody thing. It's just fun to do. But it also has some very neat information about the Earth itself. And I'm losing my train of thought because I wanted to say something. For instance, I can also alter some specifics about the Earth, for instance. That's neat. Like for instance, what if I made the moon slightly heavier? Like what if I made it as heavy as the Earth? Now obviously this increases the size of the moon. And while you can't quite see it just yet, the Earth is being pulled out of its orbit. And I'll just speed it up a little bit. And it creates a neat little dance between the two objects. I think eventually one of the two will be ejected from the system, or they will collide. Since they're the same mass, I'm not entirely sure. It depends really on where the moon is. But it's a fairly accurate simulation. And you can also see this causes a neat little dance between the two, which seems to actually be fairly stable. So we'll just change the size of the Earth. And up, there it goes. That was the moon. So now the Earth is the size of one Jupiter. Which I can prove by putting a reference, where is it, Jupiter next to it. I don't want to shoot it, I just want to put it down. Hey, look at that. It's neat. It eats planets. And it grows. Watch the monstrous Earth eat the entire solar system. Which, if I go back to the solar system for a minute, it has some fairly neat characteristics, for instance, but I don't want to change the mass. Or the density, really. But if I increase the diameter of the sun somewhat, let's say make it 5 million kilometers, the sun turns orange. Now, because the mass hasn't changed, this doesn't affect the gravity of the situation. But obviously 5 million kilometers isn't quite enough. How much was it again? 15 million kilometers. 150 million kilometers. That's it. Alright, now we're getting somewhere. So now effectively the sun has a diameter of 1 Earth astronomical unit. Which is almost enough. Let's make that... no, not 2. 3. Just 2. And now the Earth... Oh, it's been swallowed. Ah, pity. So this is essentially how the solar system will end when the sun goes nova. By swallowing all the other planets. And just for a lark, let's see, the Mars has now got a... I can't see it here. Where's the general information? Planet temperature. Strange, I'm for certain you could see some of that information somewhere around here. Let's stop the simulation for a moment. No, come on. Darn. Well, there is a way to show the temperature of a planet if you put it down somewhere, but apparently I can't bring it up because I forgot how to. That's the Wikipedia entry for Mars, that's fine. Don't need that right now. Where was it? Yeah. But anyway. And we're running out of time. I thought I could show you much more, but I'll just... no, not the local galaxies, that's not the one I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you what happens several billion years from now, when the Milky Way and Andromeda collide and become a new galaxy. Or, yeah, galaxy. So here's our sun. Try to see if you can keep your eye on it, as these two galaxies merge and eject various stars in a great show of, that's all stars, flying off into the distance. Do you still have your eye on the sun? Well, I will show you one other thing before I do, but I need to prepare a little bit before I can. So I'll be right back. And here we are again. Let's have a look at sizes of objects in the universe as seen through the Universe Sandbox. So we'll start off with Pluto. Nice little dwarf planet, which is absolutely tiny in comparison to our own moon. So we'll just move up the scales a little bit. Here we have Mercury, Venus, oh, Mars rather. This is Venus. Then the Earth, which is actually bigger than Venus, even though it doesn't seem like it, because the angle isn't quite right. Yeah, that's much better. And then we move on to the gaseous planets. Neptune, Uranus, Saturn without the rings, Jupiter without its rings, and then we have to start moving up to really big sizes, because the next biggest object I have is our own Sun. Now you can't really see the name. Unless I turn... no, turning the camera doesn't matter. Oops. No sneak peek. But this is our Sun. And in order to make sure that we get a clear idea of the size of things, I'll use this reference planet as an idea. I'm holding an Earth now. Let's close that. I have to keep it open and alright. Alright, but that's our Earth in comparison to the Sun, which, if we just have a brief look back, how easy we fit into even Jupiter. But anyway, let's keep on moving sideways. And outwards, please. So the controls are a little bit stiff. Then the next star over is Alpha Centauri A, Sirius, one of the brightest stars in the northern sky. Then the next one is Altairamin. I don't know the names of all the stars, and this isn't all the stars you might be familiar with. These are just the stars that came with the simulator. So, alright, next star over. Ooh, big jump. Again, our reference planet is absolutely tiny. This is Pollux, one of the Gemini stars. If I remember my astronomy well enough. And then another big jump. Arcturus. Followed by Aldebaran. I'm not entirely sure about some pronunciations, but I'm fairly sure that's close enough. And another jump. Rigel. I believe that's the biggest blue star we have, or we have seen. Can't know for certain how many, because I'm still not entirely sure how many stars there are in the Milky Way. Because I've asked this a couple of times to actual astronomers, and the numbers vary somewhere between 100 million and 400 million. Now, I can understand that there is a little bit variation in the estimates, but you should probably be able to get somewhere in between there. I don't know. I'm tired of asking, and I don't know that many astronomers personally. Right, so the next star is Eta Carinae, and our reference planet is barely noticeable anymore. And then we go on to the supermassive stars. This is Antares, also known from the Battle of Antares, I believe. Although I never played any of those games. Betelgeuse, the big red star in Orion, I think. Yeah, it's the bloody shoulder of Orion. Although the stars don't actually have anything to do with each other. And Mu Cephei. And then we move on to VV Cephei. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. It's not a W. Or a double U. The joke is wearing a little thin, I think. And finally, the biggest star we have seen. VY Canis Majoris. The big dog star. And as we look back on this, you can't even see the planets anymore. I believe this little dot here at the front, that's the sun, but... no, if I just put an Earth here somewhere... yeah. Oops. And I look it up. Oh, that's way out there. I'm completely miscalculating the distances of things in this place. No, I don't want to set a direction, I want to drag it. Yeah, that's better. Right, I'm trying to drag it a little bit closer. What is it doing? Didn't actually... oof. I was a little bit worried it might have turned on the simulation, which I don't want it to do because I've tried that. It pretty much instantly causes everything to collapse into Canis Majoris. But just to give you an idea, this star apparently has the mass of 20 suns. It's a distance of 18.1 Earth units, or astronomical units, which is basically the distance from Earth to the Sun, and a density, oh, very low density actually, not even that hot, but it's very bright, which is actually a bit of a problem, because when I tried to set this up, all these stars emitted light. Now, admittedly they do look like they are emitting light, but they're not actually, because I turned that off. Yes, if I go back to Sirius and then go back to one of the smaller things, like Jupiter. See, you can pretty much see the features of Jupiter now, because there's an artificial sun somewhere over there that's projecting light, which I could turn off. But if I didn't get these things to not emit light, you effectively would not be able to see anything about these planets. Because the light would be so bloody bright. But anyhow, I just wanted to show you all this. And I will see you all next time.